Absolutely, Tottenham till I die. Welcome to Thfc till I die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and a really, really bright future, Philip. We're bouncing along. We've had our best start ever to a Premier League season, possibly a best start since 60-61, and we all know what happened at the end of that season. Philip threw his dummy out of the pram and said, I've had enough of this, and I want to start walking now. And We will do a reenactment one day with that. We should have footage coming through from that day when Philip threw his dummy out the pram and said, "Feck this, I'm going to start."
Yeah, we'll have footage of the ambulance picking you up from your house as well.
But anyway, how are you this morning, Mr. Brady? I know you had the day of yesterday. It was Mrs. Brady's birthday, so happy birthday to her. Hope you had a nice time out having dinner yesterday. Did you?
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was nice. And then came back in time to watch the Arsenal Manchester City game. Bring that brought it all back down to earth again. What a load of dross that was.
It was awful. Yeah, I watched the first hour of it and I couldn't watch anymore, so I watched the Grand Prix instead, which was just as boring, to be fair, as the Arsenal Man City game.
Yeah. I think the only bright spark at the end that was the fight Kyle Walker had with the ex-Man City set piece guy that works for Arsenal now. There's a spat at the end of the match. Looked like it was going to develop into something, but didn't.
That was the whole game, wasn't it, Philip? The game was developing into something and just nothing.
Nothing happened.
And at some points, Highbury was so quiet. It got its nickname right, the Library. But anyway, apart from that, Philip, how are you feeling after Saturday's game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm delighted with the win. Disappointed that it wasn't by more because, I mean, if we'd have kept 11 men on the pitch, I think we would have won that game really, really comfortably. You know, as it was a bit of a struggle. And Basuma should be ashamed of himself for what he did. I mean, that was just amateur hour trying to
it was
Connor with a double like that. You know,
I looked at it first, Philip, and we did a watch long. And the first thing I did was shout foul. And I know you
think that.
Yeah. And I noticed you didn't say anything. I'm thinking, it's either Philip is ahead of me, he's seen something, he's keeping quiet, or I've made a wrong decision here. And the look at it, it was just embarrassing. He fell over his own feet. Now,
he died. He threw himself to the ground.
Now, he is banned for one game, Philip, but the 4 yellow cards stand afterwards because the red card...
Yeah, the red card supersedes the yellow, so he's still on 4 yellows, but misses the next match.
So he could still.
It's actually not. It's if he'd have got the yellow, right, he would have missed the game anyway against Fulham. But he'd be back to 0 again. So it isn't quite a get out of jail free card. You know, he's still hanging on the 4. He could miss the Chelsea match very easily, or another match if he gets a book in his next match back. You know?
I don't know. But anyway, do you want to see who's in the chat, Philip? We have good afternoon to Wilton McDonald. G'day, Wilton. Good morning, Dermot and Philip. Hope you're both having a wonderful day. Yeah, it's a lovely day here in Wexford. Nice and sunny down the Monaco of Ireland. Do you know? I know up in the hills and the dips and up in Leitrim. Is it sunny up there?
It is. Yeah, lovely day. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. Do you know we are the Monaco of Ireland? I wish people would just recognise that. The southeast where I live, it's the Monaco. It's the Riviera of Ireland. We all know that. And that's for Kildare. Them lot Kildare can actually stay where they are, calling themselves the best county in Ireland. We've got strawberries, Dave, if you're watching. What's the Kildare got? Nothing. Right. Before this starts into a full blame county war between me and Dave.
I'm saying nothing.
No, Leitrim with the UN, they're going to come in as peacemakers.
Yeah. Very funny yesterday. I must tell you a good story. Mohill, they've been nearest big town to us here. They won the county championship yesterday, you know, and they beat Carrick and Shannon, which is a team called St Mary's. So when the chairman of the county board went to present the trophy, now he's from Mohill, right? He says, "Can I have the captain of St Mary's up to accept the trophy?" They have to get beat. And it all came out on Tina G as well. It was on TV as well. So you man's getting an awful slagging over it now. You couldn't even get your own team right. You know?
Oh, what an idiot. We've got Dragon D Nuts. Love that name. It says, Big G'day, G'day, Dragon. How are you doing all? Is we also got Andrew Gregory, afternoon, Dermot, and Philip, afternoon, Andrew. How are you? We've got Andrew Gregory also saying a player is once known as H. Now I'm not sure if that's Harold Bishop or Harold Macmillan or Henry Corbett. We could go on and on. Henry Cooper would have had a hat trick inside 15 minutes on Saturday. We did say that, didn't we, Philip? Actually, to be fair.
I'd actually disagree with that, and I'd say he would have had a hat trick inside 10 minutes, never mind 15.
Yeah.
Do you know that it was 3 minutes, 16 seconds into that game before Luton touched the ball?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, yeah. It does. We've got Paul Connor. Big up, Paul. He says, hi, all. Hi, Paul. Hope you're doing well. We've got Geordie. Big up, Geordie, the big Newcastle fan from the mighty Newcastle United. He says, big up, Dermot and Phil. By the way, congrats on being top of the league. Thank you. And that's where we're going to stay. Ange Ball is cooking. Philip, look, top of the league, unbeaten. We're cooking. I mean, what more could we wish for? What more could we wish for?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I must say, Joe, I was disappointed Newcastle didn't beat West Ham yesterday. We want everybody to beat West Ham, by the way. So, you know, I think you were caught out a bit near the end there in that game. But
I think the Wednesday game probably didn't help them either, Philip, against PSG.
Yeah, that's what you're going to find. European games are going to have you'll find your team will never do as well the following weekend after a European game. We're well used to have that happen to us, but
that proved for the game yesterday. Well, didn't it, Philip? How bad that game was. Both teams looked leggy.
Oh yeah, but that was an awful game. It was an awful match. And if I could just pass a comment on the Brighton Liverpool game beforehand, let's just say that Liverpool now own VAR. They got a penalty, the softest penalty of the season, and then Virgil van Dijk nearly stuffs the ball up his jumper and doesn't get done for a penalty, you know, handball. It's just, you know, they were scared to give anything against Liverpool yesterday.
Yeah, we are going to talk about it in the podcast. We really will. We're going to let Philip unleashed on Liverpool and VAR in the podcast. So any Liverpool fans that like watching our podcast, beware. It's going to be Philip unleashed. It really will be. We've got McDonald. I don't want to hear about HK. I don't know who this HK is, Philip, who this fella is. I'm still reckon it's Harold Macmillan or Henry Cooper. What he would have done if he was here. Let's concentrate on what we're doing now. Philip, we
just had to mention, though, he would have scored a hat-trick on Saturday, though, if he was there. He would have done, you know.
Now, look, I know I said Saturday, Richarlison was giving me the hump, right? Now, I'm going on to Mia's channel this week to defend Richarlison and tell it why he is the future of Spurs. So I have to be nice to him now. But he did give me the hump on Saturday. Yeah. And I didn't really, when Mia said to me to pick a player, I didn't really think it through. I just went with the first player that came into my head.
Right, okay.
So,
right. You couldn't pick a Madison or Kulichevsky or Ricard.
No, it was just Dermot opening his goal before Brain was engaged. Now I've got to defend Richarlison. Good luck.
Exactly.
Greg Selnet. Hi, Dermo, Philip and chat. Big up BT Selnet. Hope you're doing. We've got Greg Selnet, BT Selnet, as well as I'm going to call them from now on. No more Greg, you're BT Selnet. Liverpool looked very average against Brighton. All told, they needed a Basuma, Rodri, or Rice type player to own their midfield for them. Look, we all thought,
them.
Look. What is it about Liverpool and VAR, Philip? Before, look, I'm going to let you go more into it on the podcast later, but just very briefly, what is it?
If you look at the stats of the last week, where VAR decisions were plus 12 in Liverpool's favour, they had 25 VAR decisions, 13 for and 12 against, right? So that's net 12, whatever it is. Anyway, Spurs are -4. Right now, yesterday Liverpool added to that at least once. Although I don't think VAR even checked the handball, but they certainly got a penalty out of the foot, which wasn't. I mean, it was a light tug on the jersey, which you see going on in every game of the season, but rarely ever see a penalty given. But the referee couldn't wait to get that whistle in his mouth to give it to him on Sunday. Couldn't wait.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. I think the Liverpool boys were even a bit surprised. that he got us.
And
But then
and
again,
even
Jamie Carragher was in the commentary box. They are keeping it really impartial. He was all over that it was a penalty because he would be because he's Liverpool. But
yeah.
no, I don't know what it is. But I said it earlier. They now own VAR because the next decision is given against them, the whole world will erupt again. The victims have been struck down again.
Right, now keep it all for later, Philip. Just keep that anger in. Just bottle it. Get a bottle and bottle that anger. Then it would be Philip Unleashed as the new show. Paul Connor, Dermo, Richie is nowhere near good enough for us. That's a bit harsh. Though he did give me the hump on Saturday a few times, to be fair. How did he end up in the net and the ball didn't? Well, look at the Luton.
Didn't attack
Yeah,
it
but
right.
look at but you said to me, Philip, he was being pulled as well at the same
Well,
time.
the shirt was being pulled, all right, but he still should have scored it. Still should have scored.
Yeah, and then the Luton goal. How the hell did he miss that? I mean, that's more of a calamity miss than Richie's one, I think.
Yeah, he tried to hit it with his. He just went with the wrong foot. Altogether. Terrible miss.
Yeah. Big up to Wayne Bonner. Afternoon, my fellow table toppers. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Hope you're all well. Oh yeah, we're
there for 2 weeks. Although the problem now, when we come back after the international break, we don't play until Monday night, which means we're probably going to get overtaken. But it'd be nice to go back to the top of the table again on Monday night again. So.
Yeah, it will. And we're doing that watch along. It'd be great doing the watch along on the Monday night, Philip.
Yeah,
and seeing us doing. And Carl Simpson, big up. Good afternoon, gents, and everyone in the chat. Good afternoon, Carl. Please behave yourself. This is a free Mia zone. She's not in the chat yet till she does come in and starts causing havoc. But big up, Carl and Wayne. Hope you're doing well, sir. We're doing a poll in the chat. Are Spurs now in the title race? Unconvinced we are. Everyone's calling me deluded, talking at me arse. Dermo doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't care. We are in the title race. With 33% of you agree with me, we are in the title race. 7% agree with the rest of you, say we're not. And 60% say not yet. So, Philip, where are you? Are you yes, no, or not yet?
I'm not yet. I'm like Ange. Ange is saying top of the table means nothing at the moment. I mean, it's great to be there, let's face it, because it's a long time since we had any length of time at the top of the table. It's great to see it. Hopefully it'll continue, but I'm just not going to. I don't want to get built up to be disappointed. I'd rather be suitably impressed when we actually do something rather than think we're going to do it and then fail. It's just a tricky one. Being a Spurs fan for so long, I don't expect too much. This time I expect something, but the league title maybe just a little bit too far. Maybe next season, though. Maybe next season.
Well, Philip, look, I'm going to say it now. You look at Leicester, right? Nobody gave them a chance, and they won the league. You look at Blackburn. Yeah. Okay, they bought the league, but nobody expected Blackburn Rovers to beat the mighty Man United and won the league. You look at. Well, you look at. Look, why can't we, Philip? Why can we not dare to dream, dare to do? It's the cup.
Oh, we can dare to dream, but Dermot, listen, I think we'll all know that whenever the Leicester thing was such a fairy tale that any team playing Spurs in the last few games of that season played out of their skin to stop Spurs winning the league. It's not going to happen this time. With Spurs, nobody's going to play out of their skin to help us win the league. Leicester got assistance. We won't get assistance. They'll be out to get us. And that's why I think Leicester was a one-off. I'd love to see it happen again. I really would, but I just don't think lightning doesn't strike twice.
Well, you don't know. One game at a time. I agree with Andrew. What brings coming up in a minute. But why can't we? Why can't we not sit there as Spurs fans?
Did you see the run of games that we have in April and May? Yeah. We're playing Arsenal, Newcastle, Manchester City, and Liverpool in the space of about 3 weeks. That's going to be the decider. That's going to be the kicker. If we are going to win, so we have to win all of those games probably. Well, 4 of the toughest games you could have, all bumped together. So the fixture list was not kind to us in that respect,
But Philip, why should we not? Look, you say we're in the title race. You call deluded. You call off your rocker. You call you talking out your ass. Why can't we, as Spurs fans, not dare to dream? Why can't we not just say
we can dream? We can dream. But I just don't think when we wake up in the morning, the dream is going to come true. That's what I'd love it if it would. But being realistic, I don't think it's going to happen this season. We're going to come top 4, that's no doubt. But I don't think we're just there enough to get number 1.
I stated at the season Tottenham will finish in the top three, and I'm standing by that. I think we will finish in the top three, but I just think we are in the Champions League fight, no question about that. I just think we're in the title fight as well because I think we're playing better than the teams around us. We're playing better than Man City, who have lost back-to-back games for the first time in the leagues, I think, since
5 years. 5 years.
For 5 years. Arsenal were flattering to believe. And all the Liverpool are not playing great. They're beatable. I mean, apart from VAR helping them yesterday. You know, all the other teams drew yesterday, Philip. We picked up a win. 10 men against Luton.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would absolutely die. I'd love us to win the league, but I just don't. You know, I don't want to build my hopes up too much. You know, I think we will do very well this season. We'll be pushing. We'll be there or thereabouts. But I think in the end of the day, Man City is still going to come back. Once they get De Bruyne and Rodri back in, they're going to be a team again. They're not a team at the moment.
I just think Man City are beatable. I just think they're beatable. I just think that they're going to have. I think they're having a hangover from doing the treble. Now, Man United had the hangover. Okay, Man United backed it up the following season by winning the league after they won the treble in '99. I don't think Man City have that same steel or desire in them. I think by winning the treble,
they are missing.
Yeah, but
like De Bruyne is a big miss.
Yeah, okay, they're missing players, Philip, but players that should be coming in should be hungry to repeat it. They don't seem to have the hunger, nor does it come from the manager. If that was Ferguson with the United side, he left them on uncertain terms that I want you now to do it again next season. I just think we're playing the best football in the league at the moment. We're getting the results. If that was Tottenham last season, Philip, we would have lost that game at Luton.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, I just think this is where maybe the lack of another centre-back, another central midfielder, and another striker is going to maybe affect us. I dread these international breaks because I have a fear now that Romero and Van der Ven, Udogie, Bissouma, and all these could come back injured. Son has been told by Jurgen Klinsmann he's not going to be rested for Korea's games. That bothers me, you know, because they're playing friendlies, and you can get injured in a friendly just as quick as a competitive match. So if we can get all our squad back fit after this break, I might change my tune. But I feel that we get a couple of key injuries this time around. It could knock us badly once the league starts up again.
Now, Paul's asking the question. It's a good question, actually. How important is it? Listen, if you are enjoying this, please hit the like button and subscription button. Please pick up your memberships as well. Only $2.99, $4.99. We are going to start doing a lot of members-only stuff soon. So we need a few more members to actually make it worthwhile us doing stuff for the members. So we are doing that. Philip's going to have the latest members competition
I have the scores. I just haven't been able to commute them together yet. So I have the scores.
So we'll have that for you either in the podcast or on Wednesday's show. Philip will get over to me. And also you can also put in a super chat or a super sticker. It does help the channel. Every little helps us on our way as we become better and as we look to dare to dream to make our channel bigger and better on our march to 2K. We're now 1,611 at the moment. So we're halfway there, Philip. We're 300 and 389 away from 2K. So come on, let's get up. Let's get to 2K by Christmas. That'd be the best Christmas present for me and Philip to reach 2K. It really will. Question here from Paul. How important is the January transfer window, Philip, for us? And should we be looking at getting deals done now? I think January is going to be very important. I think we're going to need another striker, probably another midfielder, and a centre-back. I think we need to get 3 in January. Would you agree with that?
That's exactly what I said there a minute ago. They're the 3 that we could have done in the summer. But let's face it, we had a good window, but it's never going to be perfect. It's very hard to do it in one window. A good thing about this is if we're there or thereabouts in January, players that are maybe who mightn't have considered Tottenham in the past might start saying, hang on, I'd like a piece of that action that they're doing well. So we might just be able to attract the players that will suit our expectations. Now, it's down to Daniel Levy to come up with the money. That's going to be the bottom line, because January is not usually a good time to be buying players. There's not that many become available. But we'll have to hope that if somebody is on the market, he's able to pay the money for them.
Well,
Like
you look at
Tapsoba will be a great one to get in.
yeah. I mean, you look at a couple of windows ago, Philip. We've got two players. We've got Kulu and Bentacore that transformed our season. So if we can do the same again, I'd be happy with that. But big up, Paul. Great question, actually. Very good question, that, Paul. Hope you're doing well, sir. We've got Carl says, "Oh, I always behave myself. I just get led astray. I'm just a champ. I'm just got a champion's tattoo. Is it too soon? No, it's never too soon, Carl. Never too soon. Absolutely, I'll be joining you. If Spurs win the league, I will get a champion's tattoo myself." Greg Selnet says, like I said the other day, I acknowledge we're in the title race when the bus parade is booked and the fresh trophy cabinet is ordered. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Paul was saying, Greg, Richie has never scored more than 13 goals in one season. He's not good enough. He's a 1 in 3 guy. We need a 1 in 2 guy at least. Look, we said it, didn't we? We showed Harry Kane, Philip, that we needed another striker in. And at the time, we were told, look, I agree with Mia sort of thing. We've got Manderson there. We've got Kulu. We've got Sonny. Other players can score goals in between. Do we still need that 15 to 20 season a goal striker up front to take them chances?
Yeah, we do. We do, I think. Yeah. I think we do. And depending on Richie does between now and Christmas, I think we'll probably get one. You know, whether it's going to be Ivan Toney or what, I don't know. But
I don't want Ivan Toney at the club. I'm telling you that now.
Well, I'm only using him as an example. You know, I'm only using him as an example.
I know, but I'm saying to you, Philip, I don't want him anywhere near the club. I don't want that person. I wouldn't trust him. He could be betting against us. But do you want to take the comments there, Philip? Just that one there for a minute. But back in a minute.
I think it wants to change. Hang on. No, I'm going to say sorry about this, lads. I'm just no.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just going to relocate them, so I'll be back in a second.
Okay, grand, no problem. No problem at all. Wilt McDonald says, we can keep the dream alive, but I know where Philip's coming from. Too many disappointments in the past. Yeah, exactly. Let me take you out there, Philip. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look, I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying. Andrew Gregory saying 1 game at a time. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. We've got Wilton saying that lot down the road already claiming the title because they won yesterday against the Citizens. Them lot can do what they like. They're idiots. They're idiots down the road. South Londoners. Paul, we played for Everton and Watford. It's not fair comparison in terms of service. Look, I get where Paul's coming from, Greg. I really do. Look, he's not the best. He should have scored 2 goals at least on Saturday. At least. Now, for every reason, he's not firing at the moment, and we don't know why. We thought it was something to do with his mental health, which we hope he gets it right. But he can fire. He plays brilliant for Brazil, but for us, he just cannot get going for some reason. Look, we have to buy another striker in January. We really do, and I think we will. Now, Philip said the likes of Ivan Toney or Orban. Now we've got this young lad Velez who come on. Could he do the job for us? But I think we do need to go for an experienced striker. We've got Carl saying, easy, Philip. No team has impressed me at all this season, nor me. And we'll be 20 points ahead of them by then. Look, no team for me has impressed me this season at all.
I wouldn't agree with you.
Now, hang on. I know you wouldn't, but let me get my point out first, Philip. Liverpool haven't impressed me. Man City haven't impressed me. Arsenal haven't impressed me. I think Chelsea are just in meltdown.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Brighton,
a couple of games.
Yeah, well, Philip, it's only 1 game. They only played Bournemouth. They'll probably lose the next 2. Brighton have impressed me. Brighton and Newcastle have. Them the 2 clubs that have impressed me in the top 8. The rest of them have not impressed me 1 iota, and including us. So that's 3 teams at the top 8, but we're the more consistent one. We're the ones picking up the points. We're the ones picking up the draws. Where Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal yesterday was a ball fest. So who's impressed you, Philip, in the league?
Brighton have.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle. Yeah, those two you mentioned. And I'm going to be sound devil's advocate here, but West Ham are doing okay. For a team I thought would struggle in Europe, and that they're doing all right. Draw against Newcastle yesterday. No easy thing to do. And I'll tell you who else has impressed me is Aston Villa.
Yeah.
They hammered Brighton 6-1. So they're the teams now that will be there or thereabouts, I think. Well, okay, West Ham probably won't. They'll drop off. But Brighton, Villa, and Newcastle, they will be top 6 material or close to top 6 material.
Look, and I know Chelsea are struggling, but Chelsea probably will get there in the end. If Chelsea had taken their chances, Philip, I think Chelsea would be higher up in the league. It's just they haven't took their chances.
They put 4 past Burnley, and they won during the week as well, didn't they? They won. So they won a couple of away games, which is tough to do. But I think Pochettino's got a very tough job there.
Oh, it is.
Very tough job.
Milton saying, I'm not going to say we'll win the league, but we are in the title race until we drop out the top 3. Yeah, I agree with.
That's true.
And he says, I think we will finish top 2. I've said that at the start of the season. You lot laughed at me when I said Tottenham would finish top 2 or 3. Literally, a lot of you laughed at me. Even not you, Philip, but all of you that were on that pre-match show looked at me like I had 2 heads growing out of my neck, that I'd taken a load of dodgy substances before I came on the stream, and I was either drunk or high on something when I said, and I stick by that. We will finish in the top 3, Philip. But you still confident?
My look on it is I class us this season the same way as what Arsenal did last season. They came off at the end of finishing 5th in a 4-horse race when we beat them into the Champions League the season before, and I thought they would struggle last season. They didn't, and we're doing this season what Arsenal did last season, and they kept it going right till the very end nearly. So if we can do it, I'll be more than happy. We just need to have a finish better than Arsenal did. They ran out of steam. We don't need to run out of steam.
No. Peter Rems, hello everyone. Just been working in the garden before catching up. I'm not bothered if we're in the title race. Qualifying for the Champions League would be a great season this time around. Need a striker and a centre back. I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Andrew is saying, do you want to bet on Tony Dermott? No, probably Tony would bet on himself. Wilton is saying no to Tony. Peter Rem is saying Brighton have impressed me. Chelsea will revive. Yeah, they will be. Big up. Don't want to be a party spoiler, but far too early in the season. I get what he means.
Yeah, well,
I do get it. Big up, Chris.
It is.
Big up, Chris. Chris, let us know. Were you lucky yesterday with your decision with VAR, or do you think it was the right decision on the Liverpool game yesterday? Boris Britt, thing is, unless we get another striker, centre back, which I said, we'll be a bit hit hard this season with in AFCON and the Asian Cup coming to due, losing to Son, Sir and Basuma. I think we don't have enough depth for a title race yet. Now, January is going to be very important. If we can cover them 3 places, Philip. But do you see, like Jota, we could get Jota for nothing. He's out of contract. So we can get him in. That covers Sonny. We just need a centre midfield and a centre back. Look, if we get it right,
Bentancur will cover Basuma.
Yeah. So we just need a centre back then.
Yeah, well, I think a striker would be a help too. But one thing I'll say about the African League, the African Nations Cup, and all this, a lot of other teams are going to be weakened by it as well, not just us. If you look at the top team in the Premiership, you've got somebody from Africa or something holding the midfield or whatever. So we're not going to be the only ones to lose out there. It just depends how we handle it.
Yeah. Carl Simpson says, I think it will be a really close season. No runaway leaders this season. Yeah, I think that too. Chris is saying, which decision? Philip, do you want to say which decision
well, first of all, the penalty was rather soft. When you see the amount of shirt pulling that goes on in the penalty area, nothing's given. That one did appear to be rather a bit on the soft side. And plus the fact when Van Dijk handled the ball, now I know they say it may have ricocheted up off his body onto his hand, but his arm was way out from his body. So, was that, and VAR didn't even look at that apparently. So it just seems to me that Liverpool naturally probably got a little bit of sympathy yesterday with VAR, and it stood them in good stead. Although Brighton gave you a hell of a pounding, I'm surprised you were lucky to get away with a draw. Brighton should have won that game at the end. They missed a great chance to win it right at the very end.
Boris Brett says if we can keep in the top 3 by December, we could be if Levy backs Ange, which I think will happen. Yeah, I think so too.
That's what I was saying. Levy has to get his checkbook out in January.
Yeah. And then Peter Rem says league standing doesn't mean much until around and about December. So if we're still in the top 2, then we have a chance. But it won't happen if we get some injuries to key players. That's true as well. Now, Philip, let's go through the Tottenham injury news. Now, I saw this article, Tottenham injury update, Bentancur, Johnson, Solomon, latest news on their return dates. Now, potential return date for Bentancur is the 23rd of November this year.
November 23. That means he could be back early in the. That's only maybe 2 or 3 matches away. So that's great news.
Yeah, it is. Johnson's potential return is, of course, for the Fulham game.
Yeah.
Solomon won't be back until December 2023 in time for the Christmas thing.
It's a pity.
It is. Ivan Perisic's return won't be the next
summer. He won't be back. He'll never be back. He'll be gone. I think they're actually talking about letting him go. The Hadjog split now in the January window. About that,
Philip. Yeah. Ryan Segon's potential return is November 2023 as well. So he's been out since February. No, 2023, Philip. Yeah.
Right. No, he just seems to be forever injured, you know.
Yeah. He's one of those players, Philip, where he is constantly injured. Ex-Tottenham star Mido congratulates Daniel Levy for hiring Postecoglou as Spurs sit top of the table.
Yeah, well done.
Fair play to him. Now, this one, Philip, I thought this might tickle your tummy a little bit, right?
I saw this.
Now, Bayern Munich's chief let slip on the exact transfer fee paid for Tottenham for Harry Kane. It is reported that Thomas Tuchel's side paid £86.4 million plus add-ons to lure the England skipper to the Allianz Arena, though Hoeneß has revealed the exact figure. We only spent €95 million to sign Kane, Hoeneß told German outlet BR24. That converts to just over £82 million, which signals a bargain for Bayern. Now, Philip, you said at the time, if Tottenham let Harry Kane go for anything then 90 million, you would not be happy. Now, with this bid coming out, firstly, do you believe the Germans? And secondly, are you now still not happy that we sold them for that price, or did we have to get rid of them?
I don't believe him. To be honest. It's spin. It's spin. No, I don't believe him because it wouldn't be the first time Bayern Munich came out with a few porkies. So no, I mean I reckon now. I do reckon that we got 100 million euros for him. I don't think we got 100 million sterling. So I think Uli Hoeneß has been a bit economical with the truth here. So I think we did get 100 million for him. Lenny said he wouldn't let him go for less than 100 million, and why would he?
Yeah.
So I think Uli Hoeneß is. I mean, think about it. He can say that with impunity because the only person that can contradict him is Daniel Levy. And Daniel Levy's not going to do that while Bayern Munich still owe us money for the transfer.
No, that's true. Chris says a draw was a fair result, Philip, in his opinion, in the Brighton game. Better team was Brighton, both missed sitters. And
the first half now, Brighton were battering you. You know, no, you got 2 goals. Yeah, I agree with that. Van Dijk decision should have been a penalty. He got away with that one. He really did. You know, I don't think VAR even looked at it too long either.
No. We've got Brian Spirit. Why do I feel Bayern are chatting crap like they did last time they tried and cause issues in the media? Carl is saying, screw you, Bayern and Mr. Sketchers. Andrew is saying, Levy wouldn't let Cohn go for that. No.
Yeah.
Imagine asking people if they can trust the Germans and how slimy they were at the start of the Kane saga, trying to annoy Ange in a press conference. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so they lost all credibility when they did that.
And Peter Rem says,
your man still hasn't replied to my email. Remember, I said the journalist said, no, he never replied to it. No.
You might need to send a second one, Philip. And then we've got Hoeneß is a convicted tax dodger who has done time. I don't believe anything he says. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. I rest my case.
Yeah, rest your case. Now, with Spurs, but now this
Well, we've kind
stat
of
for
done this
me, right?
already, haven't we?
Yeah, but I've got the stats to back it up, though, Philip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the stat for me, right? Now, Tottenham Hotspur have won 20 points in their opening 8 league games so far this season. This is the best ever start to a Premier League season and their best start to a league campaign since 1960. They won the league that season. Now,
Yeah.
what's also remarkable, Philip, there's the league table, the top 4, but the Spurs
That's
first
before
team on top.
yesterday's game, actually, because Arsenal are now level on points with
Yeah,
us.
well, we know that, Philip. Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is Spurs are top of the league, the under 21s are top of the league, and
Yeah.
Spurs under 18s are top of the league.
Yeah.
So
Right.
all
That's right.
three Spurs teams are top of the league. Now,
We finish the season now. We just call it a
yeah,
haul now.
yeah, just call it now.
Mm.
And then this is the other thing. Our best 5 starts for a Premier League game, first 8 games now. This season's, of course, our best start 6 wins, 2 draws, no defeats. Number 2 is 2018, 2019, 18 points. Was it that? Which year did we reach the Champions League final, Philip?
2018-19.
Now, there you go. 2017-18, 17 points, 5 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. The same for 2021, and then 22-23, the same. Philip, this is our best start ever to a Premier League season. Our best ever start since the 1960-61 season, when we won, what was it, 15 games unbeaten, 16 games unbeaten?
No, it wasn't that many. I think it's 11 or 12 unbeaten. I'll look it up now.
Yeah, here we go. Here we got it here, and our
We
best
might have been
unbeaten start.
unbeaten, we won so many on the bounce. You know,
Yeah.
we won 11 or 12 on the bounce.
Now, these are our best unbeaten starts. Of course, it's 60-61, 16 matches unbeaten, 115 drew 1. 12 matches in 1919, 1920, 111 drew 1. 12 matches unbeaten in 59-60, 1-6 drew 6. 12 matches unbeaten in the 16-17 season, 1-6 drew 6.
That's the runner-up season, that one. That's the runner-up season.
And then the 10 matches unbeaten start of the 1991 season, 1-6 drew 4.
FA Cup winning season.
Yeah. Now, the top one, we won the league. The second one, I don't know if we won the second division in 1920.
I'm not sure. We won the FA Cup the year after that.
Yeah.
And the one after that, we won the league the year after that.
Yeah.
The next one we didn't. Yeah, so we've done well the season, either that season or the one after it, in all those years, except 1991. We didn't do too well the following season of that one. But anyway.
No, but the top one, 60 matches unbeaten, 60-61, Philip. And at the moment, what are we now? We're 8 games unbeaten.
Yeah.
Could we match that, Philip, with the run of games we've got?
I'll tell you now. Just 1 second now, and I'm just going to go down through the fixtures here. Okay, our next game is Fulham at home, right? That's a win. Crystal Palace away. No reason why we can't win that one.
No.
Chelsea at home. Hopefully Chelsea don't improve, too much. Then we Wolves away and Villa at home. Then after that, Man City away, West Ham at home, Newcastle at home, Forest away, and Everton at home. That brings us up to Christmas. So Man City and possibly Chelsea be the 2 games there I'd be kind of worried about.
Yeah.
Other than that, not really.
You look at the start, Philip. 6 wins, 2 draws, 9 defeats. I mean, what a start. I mean, did we ever dream we would have a start of the season when Ange was appointed? None of us thought that.
No, well, especially as he didn't have anywhere near as good a start with Celtic. It took him about 3 months to get Celtic wound up into his way of thinking, and we've done it straight away. But Dermot, this is why I think it shows how bad and how ruptured and how broken that team was under Conte.
Yeah.
What's happened here is they've seen a guy coming in who has the same ideas of how to play football than they have, and they bought into it to a man straight away. And the team spirit in that dressing room at the minute, I don't think it's ever been as good. Have you seen the reaction the last 2 matches, the players hugging each other? I love the bit on Saturday where they all pushed Nicky Van de Ven to the front of the crowd after the match to get the applause of the crowd. because that was his first goal for Spurs. So no, it's very, very impressive. I mean, and Ange, I know we're the team that the media love to hate, but you couldn't hate Ange Postecoglou if you tried.
No.
He's just got this way about him, a real one of the lads, and he's one thing I did notice about him. You ever notice when he's interviewed, he always looks down at the ground. He never looks at the camera. Quite strange, but he's a very good interviewer, though. He knows what he's talking about when he gets going.
They can have the hurricane cost because we'll go on to win the league. And Boris Britt hits a good point here. He says, well, it looks like Bayern might not win the title for the first time right now, considering they're third with Kane right now, even though he scored 7 goals for them already.
He's on a bit of a drought at the minute. He hasn't scored for the last 2 or 3 matches.
Yeah. Pete Rem says that's all great, but that was the double winning team, a much stronger and experienced group of players than we have right now. It could happen if we strengthen the squad and Ange stays, but not yet. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
And then Chris is saying we can only start judging the league in January, really, in my opinion. And I think I agree with
the Christmas period is a huge. The Christmas period is a huge time for all the clubs.
And we didn't have a proper pre-season either.
That's true. That's true.
So,
but you know what I think is going to help us this season? The 1 game per week.
Yeah,
that's going to be a huge help.
Yeah, it will. And I think that's where we should be taking advantage of it, Philip. Well, look, let's get back to the game on Saturday, Philip. Of course, we played Luton Town. We're at Kenilworth Road, a 12:30 kickoff. Only 10,290 people packed into the little stadium. Basuma was sent off after the 49th minute for falling over his legs, pretending he thought he was in a diving competition for the Olympics. And Philip's already bored with them. What are you going for? Is that my joke or Basuma falling over his own feet?
No, I'm just saying what he did was inexcusable, and I hope he's been hit with a big fine. You know the way clubs have a list of things you get fined for? Well, he should be fined. Whatever the maximum fine is, they should double it for that crap on Saturday.
Yeah. And then, of course, Mickey van der Ven scored the winner. And he took his goal really well, Philip, to be fair.
He did, because he was actually unbalanced, and he hit it with his. He had to more or less step back a bit to get connection with the ball. It was a really good goal. It was a really good goal.
Madison again. Madison just dinked in, and fair play to Madison. Now,
exactly
this is the team
he did against Arsenal. Same thing as he did against Arsenal. For Son's
now, this is the team here. Basuma, of course, is in red because he was sent off. Mickey Van has got black and white because he scored. And Sonny's all right because he was captain. So that's the way I've done it. So it sort of lets you know all what happened. So, Philip, do you want to give your player ratings for the team on Saturday?
Vicario an 8. He only had 2 shots to save, but he saved them. Porro 8 as well. Very, very good. Romero and Van der Ven, I'm going to give them a 9 each. They were brilliant. Really were. Destiny was very good, an 8. Papasar 8. Basuma -3. Kulichevsky played very well as well. I'll give him an 8. Madison a 9. And Richarlison, give him a 6. He was probably the weak link in the whole team. So
yeah.
No, it was a good team performance. Son as well. Son wasn't great, but Son inspires people on the pitch. So I'll give him a 7.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to go through Richarlison and Carl's point here? Apparently, Richie's still there and you can't find the net.
Yeah. It's I thought after he scored against Sheffield United, that might be the start of things, and he did play well against Liverpool, setting up Son for the goal, but it just doesn't seem to be happening for him yet. He should have scored that. He did have a good chance after that when he hit the ball. It found the target, but the goalie stuck his foot out. But what he should have done there, in my opinion, was lifted the ball up. If he'd have lifted it up, he would have scored. The goalie couldn't have got up to it, but it didn't work. So anyway, but listen, we'll have to keep faith with him, because until January we can't replace him unless we bring in the young lad from Argentina.
I thought he did well in his few minutes he was on the pitch.
He did okay. He's a bit raw looking now. He's a bit raw looking, but Belize. But he's a good big tall lad, good in the air. So and then we've got Jamie Donnelly coming up from the under-21s as well. He's another one to look forward to.
I'm going to give my reaction. I thought I'm going to give them as the back 5 as 1. I'm going to give them all 8.5. I thought they were fantastic, the lot of them.
Yeah.
Van der Ven, I'm going to give 9 because of the goal. He scored the winning goal. But for me, Romero looks like a far better defender than he was last season. Mickey Van der Ven, I always said it, Philip, that if you got a decent defender next to Romero, that will calm him down.
Calms him down, yeah.
Yeah. You got Destiny and Porro doing brilliantly as fullbacks for Korea. So as a back, everyone gets 8.5. Van der Ven gets 9 because of the goal he scored. Papasa again was immense. Another 8.5 for me. He was brilliant on Saturday. Basuma gets a 7 for me. He was playing well up to that. Then he got stupidly booked
fairness,
and stupidly sent off. Madison 8 for me for providing for the goal assist. Again, I think that's his 5th of the season. For Tottenham from Mickey Van der Ven. Kulu, I give a 7.5. I didn't think he was too good Saturday. I thought the front three as a whole were very poor. Richarlison, I give a 6.5. I thought he was dreadful. I really thought he was dreadful. And I don't know if he's trying too hard, Philip. I know if he's overdoing it, but something isn't right. So
but you're given the attack poor marks. Okay, fair enough. In the first half they were wasteful, but don't forget in the second half they contributed to that defensive unit.
I did it. That's why. That's
So they actually were better at the job they're not you're supposed to be doing than they were at the one they're supposed to be doing.
The point I'm making, that's why I'm giving Kulu 7.5 because of the job he did the second half when he was the one striker up there. When Sonny came off, he ran his ass off for the whole game. So I probably move it up to an 8 for Kulu. Sonny, again, I agree with you, Philip. Not great, but he inspires people around him. He does the captain's job.
Yeah.
He inspires people around him. And then, Philip, for the substitutes, then we've got Ollie Skip on the 76th minute, Højbjerg, Emerson, Davis, Velez. What would you give your ratings for them for the substitutes?
Skip did well. Skip did very well. 7. Højbjerg had a brilliant game. Højbjerg, I thought, really kept things together in the midfield. Okay, he wasn't flashy. More of his passes went backwards than forwards, but that's what we needed at the time. Give him an 8. Emerson came on a 7. Davis 7 as well, and Velez, well, he only came on for 5 minutes, but we'll give him a 7 as well. So,
yeah. Okay, for me, I'll give Skippy a 7. I give Højbjerg 8 because I thought he was immense when he came on. Højbjerg for me, settled that midfield in to do the job he had to do, Philip, to keep it tight together. He really did. He got booked also when he came on the second half. Emerson, I thought, played well. He gets an 8 for me. Davis come on 7.5 for me. Didn't do anything wrong. We called him sort of the James Milner of the Tottenham squad, and I think that's the right sort of area for him. And Velez come in, really having a lot of time to show what he can do. But what he did do, a couple of chances he had, he held the ball up very well, Philip, for me.
Yeah.
And that, right, let me go on then. We also got the referee, John Brooks, Stephen Medemith, Neil Davis, Graham Scott, Michael Oliver was on VAR, Gary Beswick was his assistant. Referee-wise, Philip, how did you think the referee did?
It was actually one of the better referees we've had this season. He wasn't too noticeable. Okay, he made the decision to send Basuma off, which was the right decision. I mean, you can't deny it. It was crazy what the man did.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was okay. Okay, maybe a couple of bookings that weren't deserved. But yeah, I'd give him okay. I'd give him a 7.
And Michael Oliver and the VAR really didn't have a lot to do,
did he? He didn't really have much to do, did he, really? Didn't have a lot to do.
For me, I thought Brooks did well apart from telling Højbjerg to go off when he didn't need to go off.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that was a bit stupid. But yeah, and then the stats of the game, Philip. Tottenham 66.9% possession to Luton's 33.1. We had 15 shots on total and 4 on target, 1 yellow, 1 red. Luton had 12 shots total, 2 on target, 2 yellows, no red. Really, it's a game we dominated. Do you think the stats sort of say that's how the game went, Philip, to be fair?
I'd say the stats would have been 75 to 80% possession for Spurs had we kept 11 men on the pitch.
Yeah.
Because at one stage it was 97-3. Remember that?
Yeah. 100, yeah, so 199, wasn't it? Passes
against 9. Against 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we would have dominated. We dominated the game anyway, even though they had 10 men, really. I know Luton huffed and puffed, but we kept them at the defense. Our defense was brilliant. It really kept them to win 1 or 2 good chances. And they just weren't good enough to convert them.
No. And look, everyone wants Luton to do well, but just for the 2 matches to play against us, we want to beat them. But that's the first time we've scored against them, Philip, in 4 games at Kenilworth Road, going back to the
That's right.
90s.
That's
I mean,
right.
it's
That's
not
right.
an easy place. That's not going to be an easy place for some of the top 6 to go to, Philip. This season,
No.
Carl saying credit to Højbjerg as well. He calmed it all down. He really did. Peter Rem says, Basuma will miss 1 match for the red, 2 yellows for the red, 1 discounts the biz, but his other 4 yellows stay, meaning that he will get suspended for another match if he gets another yellow.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Chris says, I liked Højbjerg, always rated him, underrated for me, would have took him at Liverpool when available. But you can't have him.
Yeah, you can't have him.
And that ref annoyed me, the fact he was forcing Højbjerg to go off the pitch for 30 seconds because the ball hit his chest. I mean, that was ridiculous. Yeah. And then this yesterday, Philip, this is now VAR.
Oh, yeah. This was shocking.
Now, should he have gone, Philip? Now, what was the difference between selling Jota off against Liverpool, against us, and that tackle yesterday, which looked far worse than the Jota one the previous weekend?
No, it wasn't the tackle was worse, Dermot. It was the fact that he'd already been booked.
Yeah.
The second tackle was a bookable offence. It wasn't a red card offence, but it was a bookable offence, which means he should have been booked and sent off. Oliver completely bottled it there. I'm surprised VAR didn't pull him up, because VAR can't. VAR can only intervene if it's a dangerous play or a red card. They obviously didn't realise that, or reckon it was a red card, but as a totting up offence, it was a yellow, and he should have gone.
Yeah. For me, there was another thing as well. A penalty, I think, should have gone Man City's way as well yesterday, that he bottled as well. That was another decision he bottled.
I didn't see that. I didn't see all the game now, so I probably missed that bit.
I look forward to Spurs versus Luton at home, goals galore. I think we might go to that game, Philip. That's a very good.
I'll just see when it is, actually. Hold on.
Yeah. And then every week, another ref mistake. Philip is going to go on the ref rant in the podcast. I think Philip's due a ref rant. I think he really is in the Premier League.
30th of March, 24, we're playing Luton.
Now, I still like this status, but I like this Spurs' best ever start to a league since 6. For me, that is the best stat of the day. For me, I just like, I'm going to have that up every time. Have that going across the bottom for the next 2 weeks. Philip, now there's a row over Castlemaine Park for Euro 2028. Venue continues with the DUP branding Sinn Féin petty. Now, I didn't put in what was said, but to very quickly go over, Michelle O'Neill, who is the First Minister of Northern Ireland, tweeted last week, because Ireland and England and the UK have been given the host the 2028 European Championships. And of course, 1 games have been played at Castlemaine Park in Northern Ireland. And she tweeted, I'm overjoyed that, Ireland and the UK have been given the Euro 2028, which it was followed up by one of her TDs or one of her MPs stating the same thing. Now, the DUP's come out and he's branded it petty, saying, does the First Minister not realise that Northern Ireland is part of the UK? Now, Philip looks like he's about to explode. Now, before we get into the other bit, Philip, about the building of the stadium and the costs overrunning on it to begin with, how petty is that? That's just very petty, isn't it, Philip?
Well, for anyone not living in Ireland now, if you looked up the Oxford English Dictionary of the DUP, the meaning of DUP, petty, basically. They object to everything that's going on, right? They don't want, because of the Brexit thing, the Northern Ireland Assembly has been out of office for about 2 years now, because Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, that well-known Daniel O'Donnell lookalike, if you look at them, will not agree to anything. It is true, though. It's true.
It is
isn't
true.
it? You look at them now. They're very alike. They're very alike.
Yeah. And Daniel O'Donnell, by the way.
I'm more concerned about the fact they picked Castlemaine Park, because at the moment it's a bomb site. There's nothing been done to it. It needs to be completely gutted and rebuilt. And to go for a stadium that hasn't even been started to be built yet is a bit risky, because the overruns are going to come in. There's trouble over the costings already. So, it's a very, very brave move to go for it.
It is, and it says that earlier this year, the GAA, which is the Gaelic Athletic Association, I think that's right, isn't it, Philip?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, got that right. See, said the total cost of the project has risen to 112 million pound, and 140 million pound, not including VAT, up from an estimated 77.5 million pounds. Now, in May this year, where is it now? Where is it? Oh yeah, here we go. In May this year, the Northern Ireland Secretary said, "Don't worry, you will get the money." When asked about the Casement Park shortfall was being funded, and then Leo, our Taoiseach, said in the Dáil on Thursday, he said we're in discussions with Ulster GAA Council and also the British government to also just chip in as to how we can make a chip in to building that new stadium. I believe we should. Now, Philip, should we be paying towards it? When our own football association and our own football stadium in Ireland is woeful, shouldn't he be putting the money into that instead of trying to put the money into a stadium that has really got nothing to do with us?
I wouldn't give him a penny. I wouldn't give him a penny for it because the DUP probably won't want to take any money from south of the border anyway.
Yeah,
they'll probably think we're trying to buy our way into the United Ireland. So I think, no, the British government said they'll pay for it. Let them pay for it. And the GA as well. The GA want to send some money up, fair enough. They earn enough money in the north so they can use the northern takings for that. But I think this thing about the British government saying you'll get your money, I think the people in Manchester might not agree with that after what happened last week over the train line when their train thing was scuppered at the last minute. So at this stage, I wouldn't believe anything that comes out of DUP, Jeffrey Donaldson, Richie Sunak, Uncle Tom Cobley and all, because they're all gangsters and they all have self-effacing. And the only way that money's ever going to be raised is if you get a cast iron guarantee signed by the government that it's going to come. And even then, I wouldn't say they'll probably try and renege on us. Because let's face it, building costs have gone up 30% since that contract was drawn up. And that has not been allowed for. And now it's being allowed.
Now, surely, Philip, that money that would come for that, should that be put into Irish football, into Irish soccer, to improve the facilities?
The money that this is totally separate from Irish soccer.
But I'm saying, should they put money? That's not the question. The question was saying
they should. I mean, and they have, no fairness, they have put some money into it, but not enough. Not enough.
Philip,
just never forget. Never forget, GAA is the national game of this country.
I know that. I know that. I had said it the other day. GAA rugby are the first two sports in this country, then soccer. But Philip, we cannot have this. People and children, boys and girls who want to play soccer in this country. Okay, they should be. We all know the money goes into rugby. We all know the money goes into GAA. The money should be going into facilities for them children to play soccer in this country. In better facilities. We have no facilities here. So is that down to the football governing body of Ireland? Is that down to the government of Ireland? Who's that down to? Is it down to UEFA or FIFA to
it's
fund?
nothing to do with UEFA or FIFA. It's down to John Delaney screwing the FAI so their skin to kind of fall down. That's basically what it's down to. Only for that crook, we'd have money to put into grassroots of football. Now, in all fairness, there is grassroots in Dublin. There's a lot of little soccer teams coming up. My grandson plays in one of them.
Yeah,
so
but
it's not everybody is getting no funding for football, but it's not widespread enough. It really isn't. No, it's in certain areas of the country, and it should be everywhere.
My county now gets no funding for soccer in Ireland. No, that David's telling me Kildare doesn't. Portlaoise probably
Dublin
doesn't.
Dublin does.
Cork does, because Cork's as big as some. So why should the people in Dublin say, "Oh, we get this," but the people of Wexford, Kildare, Laois, Cork, other Tipperary, right, for example, won't get funded? Where it's okay for one county to get it, but what about the other counties? We have to play on crap pitches.
It's not a level playing pitch. It's not a level playing field. That's really it. Where the population is, that's where the money's going to go. And that's the way it's always been. That's the way it is with GA. Where the population is, they will fund it because that's where the income comes from. That's why Dublin is so successful. Because they've got the biggest...
If we want to qualify for major tournaments, right? Yeah. And which we've done in the past, we're very lucky to qualify for World Cups and European Championships because we had the talent pool there. We haven't got the talent.
We also got half the talent pool came from your my grandmother was Irish. Don't forget that. Most of those players were not born here.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, but Philip, the point I'm trying to make is we had the talent pool there. That's the point I'm making. The talent was there to get us into these major tournaments. Once that talent pool dried up, we haven't got the talent to put into it now because we haven't invested. And it's like John Delaney has an awful lot to answer for. That man should be in prison. He really should be in prison for the way what he did. But we're now reaping the sods he laid for having a national team that we're going Friday. We have no trust or thoughts that we might beat Greece. We know we're going to lose. We've got one win.
No, we'll beat Greece. We'll beat Greece. I'm not beating Greece. Sure. We'll just not beat France or Holland. We'll not beat the teams that we need to beat. We'll beat the teams at the same level as us, or draw with them, but not against the teams that we need to win.
So do you
we
think...
we could go on.
Go on.
No, I was going to say, we can argue for days. The funding is not there because of John Delaney. It's not there because the GAA rugby take precedence, right? And let's face it, they are the sports that are bringing in the bacon. Look what the rugby team's doing at the minute. Look what that's doing for the development of grassroots rugby. You'll find every child in the country now wants to play rugby, not football, because of what the GAA team's doing. Yeah. Back in '90, it was everyone wanted to play football because of what our soccer team was doing. It just changes with the wind. Whoever's been successful will get the grassroots to try and play their game.
Look, it's for me, rugby's great, not my sport, but great what we're doing at the moment. Number one rugby side, brilliant. GAA played it, yeah, it's okay. Soccer's my sport, and I know rugby and GAA are going to get first. I know that, Philip. I'm not daft enough to not know that soccer will always come third in Ireland. But again, they should be putting some sort of money into youth soccer in this country. Your grandson plays soccer in Dublin, right? That's well funded. But why is it always the one county? What about Wexford? What about Tipperary? What about Cork? What about Waterford? What about other counties?
You need to get onto your local TD and lobby them. Get the TDs to make a fuss about it. Then maybe something will happen.
Philip, I've been lobbying my local TD for the last 5-6 years when Wexford Hospital nearly killed Derval with a heart attack when they left her for 6 hours and left her basically dying in front of me. And I've been lobbying for the last 6 years, and I've got nowhere between my TD and Wexford Hospital, who've burnt down, and all the fucking records are gone. I've been on to 3. I went on to Fianna Gael, Fianna Fáil, and Sinn Féin, and not one of them wants to know. So what hell? Maybe
that's why the soccer isn't so well, because a lot of these TDs would identify with the GAA more, and they're not interested in football.
So why in hell? But Philip, I understand that. I get what you're saying. It's true. But what really riles me up is when, we've got the European Championships, okay, coming to Ireland, right? Yeah. All the TDs and the Taoiseach.
That's 5 years.
Yeah, but the point is, Philip, all the TDs and the Taoiseach of the time, or the Taoiseach of the time, we all old soccer and all we're doing well now. We're all doing this, and we're going to leave a lasting legacy. We should have had a lasting legacy after what Jack Charlton did for us back in the 90s and the early 2000s, when we were qualifying for European. Yeah, but we were qualifying for World Cups, Philip. We were qualifying for European Championships. Do you know, the lasting legacy should be there. We all know soccer's the third sport in Ireland, but still there should be a name, and they put funding into a corrupt sport like boxing that was for the Olympics that was corrupt as fuck. But they put money into that, but they won't put money into soccer so a 6 or 7-year-old could go out and play soccer on a perfect pitch instead of playing on the pitch that's full of cow dung and sheep dung and whatever. But the pitch next to it, the pitch next to it for GAA or rugby gets all the latest equipment, and that poor 7-year-old who's somewhere in the back ass of Tipperary, right, can't get a proper kit or a proper ball. It's ridiculous, Philip. And going to your local TD, I know what you're saying. go to your local TD. The only time a local TD will talk to you is when there's something in it for them.
No, the only time they'll talk to you is when there's an election coming up.
Yeah. No, and also when there's something
Anyway.
in it for them.
Oh yeah. No, it's just
you
a
know
flog
what I
on a
mean.
dead horse, damn it.
You know what I mean, Philip. You know
Yeah,
yourself.
I know.
Yeah. Peter M says yes. You can always trust a Tory minister promising funding for a project.
Exactly.
And Carl says, "Tell us how you really feel, Philip."
Might do someday.
Yeah. Andrew Gregory said, after working on the Emirates, you could build it, Dermot. Yeah, I know I could do. Me and Philip are gonna. We'll get Philip Brady. We'll get Dave helping us as well. We'll knock it up with like Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone. We'll knock it up in a few bits. Me and Philip. Andrew Dermot isn't trusted anymore since he did a naked body mold. Oh Lord God. And then Chris says, "Don't get me started on politics. Can't stand them lot of them." No.
They're all in it.
Andrew is asking, how popular is? I don't know if it means hurling or curling.
Well, curling is a Scottish sport. You know, you throw the stones down the ice. Hurling is very popular.
It is.
It's a mixture of murder, mayhem, and sport. I think.
Yeah. Well, Wexford is a big hurling county. Cork is a big hurling county. So is Tipperary. But look, Philip. Look, for me, I just get very angry when you see what John Delaney did and the money he wasted, and where that money could have been put in,
got away with it.
And got away with it. And we've got the European Championships. Big are we? Do you know we should have better facilities for?
We have 6 games. We have 6 games coming. That's what we're getting.
But we should have facilities there. I mean, you watch your grandson playing in Dublin, Philip. What are the facilities like for him? I bet they're top notch.
No, they're not. They're okay.
Yeah.
This is a soccer pitch. That's all. No changing
But
room.
if he was playing hurling or GAA, there'd be better facilities. And you say about the rugby as well.
Yeah, probably would have. Yeah.
Look, we might talk about it more in the podcast, Philip. It's really got my goat.
Yeah.
Big up, Carl. But listen, we are going to end it there. We are back. Anyway. Yeah, we are back with the Pop Cockerel Clock podcast. Now, we're not sure if we're doing it live tonight or we're going to do pre-record tonight and put it out tomorrow. We will let you know. Philip was on the podcast a bit about what we've been discussing, a bit about what was one of the questions we put in for the podcast. We didn't start actually. Are Spurs in a Champions League race or a title race? And the other question we've got, what has Ange done at Spurs where Conte and Jose failed? So them questions we will be going in the podcast. Anything else, Philip, you were going to put in?
I'm sure
Premier League review as well.
VAR will come up somewhere along the road, and also a little bit probably by the Irish rugby team doing so well, you know.
Yeah. And also a bit more Premier League review, and also more on this debate where me and Philip will lay bare on Ireland soccer and how bad it is and how badly we're not going to win on Friday, where Philip is confident.
We shall see.
We'll see. We will be doing the match day blog from there. Me and Philip actually from that game. We're gonna do a match day blog, and
up from the back of the stand, the back of the
we will win
Mount Everest.
Yeah. Now I will be videoing my walk up there. Now if I die between there and getting to the seat, Philip and Carl Simpson
we're going to broadcast it live.
Broadcast it live, and Philip and Carl Simpson will be the new hosts of Thfc till I die. So there you go, Carl. You get my gig, and you also get to do all the work as well. So there you go. Philip will teach you the ropes. Andrew's laughing at Carl. We've got Andrew saying, big up Andy Farrell. Yeah, big up Andy Farrell. Yeah. And then we've got Boris. But thing is, if Ireland ever want to compete on an international stage, they need to invest in infrastructure so the football can improve, so have more wonder kids like Ferguson, Bazzuno. And so that's what we will
don't have them coming through. We just don't have them coming through. That's the problem.
Because there isn't the infrastructure there. Look, we'll get into it tonight. I think it's going to end up into a very good conversation, actually. Well, listen, thank you all for watching. We do appreciate it. I'm back tomorrow, I think, at 4:00, where Philip's going to his Dublin Peter Taylor and Roger Taylor and his drumming exercise. And then, of course, Philip's not with us on Wednesday. He's too busy going to an after party bank do for the last 20 years. He's going to see how much money the banks have made. So I think they have this every year, right? The pass round, the pass round, the paper bag.
The sick bag would be more like it.
The sick bag. Of course, he'll be back Thursday, giving us all the latest. It is the budget tomorrow, Philip.
Yeah,
as well. Mm-hmm. So no wonder you're having a bag party with the budget. Are you hoping for a bit of a windfall?
I haven't seen these guys in years. No?
Yeah.
I got out in time.
Philip is in charge of interest rates in Ireland. If everybody wants to know,
get out of it. Jesus, don't stop me.
He's not going to a party. He's going to the Doyle to see the minister for finance. Right, he's going to have a drink with him afterwards. So we're going there. But anyway, well, Philip is the
quit while you're ahead there, damn it, please.
Yeah, I will. Philip is the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Tourism. So there you go. Listen, thank you all for watching. Oh, hang on, Andrew's got something for you, Philip. He says Philip can use his contacts to raise the money.
Yeah, right.
And Boris Britt saying, yeah, and can Philip get me a tax exemption so I can visit the Oh dear.
We'll talk about Boris, that later, Boris.
We will do. And Boris says if they do come through, they end up coming to England or Scotland since more structured. Look, we are going to get onto that later.
Yeah.
And big up to Daniel Sandoval. Big up One Lobby says, guys. We are going to end it there. Thank you all for watching. Philip, thank you again for joining me. And as another horse's head is on its way down to Wexford from Leitrim, and he's running out of them, believe me. But whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your Friday. We are back later with the podcast.
Friday? Just what day of the week are you on? It's Monday.
It's Monday. I said you're running out of horse's head up in Leitrim. I'll probably get it Friday.
Oh, you said enjoy your Friday. You said
enjoy today. Oh dear, Jesus. Anyway, we are gonna watch your notification bells for the podcast. It may live, it may be tomorrow. So keep your eye out for that. Whatever you're doing, come on, you Spurs. Philip's gonna kill me. We trust.